No, man, I'm not gonna give you no ID. I ain't did nothing suspicious or nothing wrong. You wanna lock me up, lock me up.
I have a call on you. You have to identify yourself to me. You understand what I'm telling you?
Welcome back to the LackLuster channel. In May of 2022, Pastor Michael Jennings was helping his neighbors by watering their flowers, as they had recently left on vacation. Shortly into the task, he was approached by Officer Christopher Smith of the Childersburg Police Department.
Howdy.
Hey man, how's it going?
Pretty good. What you doing here, man?
Water flower.
Are they saying that, is that your vehicle? It's not?
It's the neighbor's vehicle.
The neighbors?
314, I'll be on 13.
Okay.
10-4.
You live here?
No, I don't live here.
Okay. They saying that this vehicle is not supposed to be here and you're not supposed to be
You
here?
saying that?
They called about it. I don't know who called.
I'm supposed to be here. I'm Pastor Jennings. I live across the street.
You're Pastor Jennings?
Yes, I'm looking out for their house while they gone.
Okay.
Watering their flower.
Okay.
Despite dispelling any suspicions that criminal activity was afoot, the officer asked for the pastor's ID.
Well, that's cool. Now, do you have like ID and all?
No, man, I'm not gonna give you no ID.
Why not?
I ain't did nothing wrong.
Well, you look, listen, I'm not saying you do nothing wrong.
Doc, listen.
There's a suspicious person.
Look, I used to be a police officer in Goodwater. Don't come here with that. Okay.
Look, man, don't do this to me. There's a suspicious person in the yard, and if you're not one to identify yourself.
I don't have to identify myself. It's not a stop and identify state. That guy know me. He came to my store that got broke in. I live right over there across the street. Who called y'all?
That's what we got to figure out. But first,
you live here?
He don't live here.
You think
I'm not saying nothing about.
You have no right to approach me if I ain't did nothing suspicious or nothing wrong.
Listen.
Told him I'm a pastor. I pastor until I don't want to hear.
Sir.
You want to lock me up? Lock me up.
Nobody wants to lock you
me.
up.
I'm not showing y'all anything. I'm gonna continue to water these flowers.
Call.
I don't care who called y'all.
None of the officers have told the pastor that he is being detained or that he is under arrest. As such, Pastor Jennings walks to the other side of the house to continue watering. The pastor's disregard for the officers upsets them, and they place him in handcuffs.
Hey, man, just come here and talk to us. What?
Water these back flowers is what I'm finna do. Who called y'all?
Well, if you would let us talk to you, we can figure stuff out.
You know, you're going to catch an obstruction charge if you keep walking with
You can do whatever you want. Do it. Do it.
We're just trying to talk to you, man. Come here.
313, 314, follow.
10-4. We got one that's not listening to us. Look, man, let me see your phone. Let me see your phone, dude. Just calm down, okay?
No.
Stop.
I like this.
Okay. We're just trying to talk to you and see.
I don't want to argue with you, okay?
All right, go ahead and do what you gotta do, Doc.
Ask you either.
Do what you got to do. Go on and lock me up.
Look, just have a seat.
You're not locked up. You're just.
Already lost him,
Yes,
Doc.
sir. Yes, sir.
Already
Okay.
lost him.
Just have a seat, okay?
Okay, already lost him. Already lost him.
313. Show us. 1026. One black man. Sit down. Sit down, man. Just.
Okay, let me call my wife.
You're not calling
My
nobody.
son just got racially profiled in Michigan. He's got his master's degree. He's an athletic director. 3 police profiler came in. I was ex-police officer in Goodwater. I told you I'm a pastor.
Okay, look, man.
Who called y'all?
We.
I don't have to ID myself.
You will not listen.
I have a call on you. You have to identify yourself to me. You understand what I'm telling you?
No, I don't. You wait, watch how you want. Take me down, book me. Go do what you need to do. Go do what you need to do.
I think it's gonna be.
Please call my wife right quick.
We're gonna wait off. All right. Well, y'all sit with him, Jeremy. I'm gonna go over here see if it's 6 people over here that call.
Officer Smith returns to his cruiser to get the 911 caller's information, during which one of the officers tells Pastor Jennings to shut his mouth. But when Pastor Jennings repeats the order to the officer, Officer Smith then decides that Pastor Jennings is under arrest.
Hey, you know what? 1015. 1015. 1015. I ain't gonna sit there and have that, dude.
Will you let my wife?
No, you ain't letting nothing now.
Appreciate it. Okay, I will.
313. Show me 1015. One black man.
Yeah.
The officers now discuss their feelings and opinions as they search for the 911 caller.
He's not going to cooperate.
Oh no, sitting there hollering.
I'm trying to explain to him that we got a call and we have the right to identify him. And he says I'm talking to him like a cop.
If you're a pastor and you're here watering a neighbor's yard, That's fine if you got permission.
To be clear, a 911 call about a suspicious person from a third party is insufficient grounds for an officer to demand identification, especially when considering the facts of this case. When the officers approached, Pastor Jennings was not holding tools consistent with breaking and entering, nor was he hiding or being evasive. In fact, the pastor had dispelled any suspicions the officers could have had when he explained who he was,
I'm Pastor Jennings.
where he lived,
I live across the street.
and why he was there.
What you doing here, man?
Waterflower.
As such, no reasonable person would have determined that Pastor Jennings was involved in criminal activity, and eventually, even the 911 caller appeared to speak with the police and explained that she was mistaken.
Do you know that gentleman back?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Does he have
He lives right there.
Okay, does he have permission here to be watering flowers?
He may because they are friends.
Okay.
And they went out of town today. So
Right.
He may be watering their flowers.
Okay.
Be completely normal.
Okay, that's fine. If he would have said, "Hey, I got this," gave his identification because he's a suspicious person, he said that's not his vehicle; it's their vehicle.
We
Okay.
have a call. Like,
Yeah.
we're here because we're called here. I don't know who called, but somebody did.
Did you call us?
313. Mr. Rory Milam of Childersburg on a 2004 Chevy Tahoe. No color listed. Registration is valid till 6/30 of 22, negative 29.
Jennifer, you did say the name's Roy Mallon.
10-4.
Jennifer, thanks for my south.
Yeah.
10-4.
Yeah, he lives right there and he would be watering their flowers. This is probably my fault.
Okay, do you know who Roy Mallon is? That's the person who owns that vehicle.
Roy Milam.
Roy Mallon.
Who
gold
owns the
Tahoe.
house. I don't know the guy's name. I don't know who owns. It could be their vehicle.
Y'all do, Mr.
Step out.
Miss Sister Connie, and
What's wrong with you?
my cuff's a little bit tight. If y'all don't mind loosening them up.
Sure he's.
Listen to me, man. Is that better?
Actually about to go over to his house.
Listen, let me talk to you. Who is Roy Mallon? That's you, ain't it?
I'm Michael Jennings, sir.
You're Michael Jennings. Who is Roy Mallon? Okay, that's who that vehicle belongs to.
Yeah, that's
who
all I
lives
know.
here?
His name is Roy.
That's who lives here?
That's Roy. I call him Roy and I call his wife Connie, and I've been dealing with him for 7 years that I've been
Yeah.
living here.
They are friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you called not because of the car, but because you thought someone saw someone besides him.
Right. I didn't know it was him.
Yeah,
I'm sorry
I got to
about
keep their
that.
flowers watered. I got to keep their flowers watered while they're gone. You okay? And by the way, I won't get to come to the graduation, but we're going to get your son something.
No, don't.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen to me, man. Listen to me. Anytime the police come out and they say, we want to identify you, you have to identify yourself because there's a reasonable suspicion, there's a reasonable man, there's a vehicle. There's a reasonable suspicion that you're here. There's not a crime.
Yeah.
If you would have said, yeah, here's my name, here's everything, we were like,
I told
okay.
him my name.
You didn't tell me your name.
I decided, he asked me who I was. I said,
You didn't give it to me when I first
Pastor
asked.
Jennings. Pastor Jennings.
That's not a name.
What was
That's
that?
a pastor.
Yeah.
I need your
The way
name.
y'all handle this situation was totally wrong.
Well, listen,
You racial profile.
we're not racial profile. No, sir. No, sir. We're not about
I
that.
told you I was here watering the flowers. But it's
How do I know that's the truth?
I
Anybody
had the water hose in my hand. I was watering all the flowers.
anybody can pick a hose pipe up.
He is gonna be so pissed when I tell him I got arrested watering his flowers. 7 years
Well, look,
we've been
look,
friends.
we got that. Look, let's sit back in here.
Okay.
You can sit down. Give me, so we can get this going on the ball. All right. What is your social?
I'm not gonna give you a social.
You need to give me your social,
I give you a
Pastor.
name. That's all I'm gonna give you. You're not gonna run no 27 and 28 on me and get me in the system for no reason.
All right. What's your
If the
name?
girl already told you who I am.
Okay.
I'm
Yes.
Michael
Yes.
Jennings. That's all you.
Michael
gonna get.
Jennings.
Michael Jennings.
Spell your first name.
After again obtaining Pastor Jennings' information, the officers display that not a single one of them on scene understands the laws they're responsible to enforce.
What are we gonna do with him?
We'll see the charge of, I guess, disorderly conduct, the failure to obey a police officer. He refused to give any information.
He said he's not gonna give me his social, but he gave me his name and date of birth.
Okay, and she's saying the same thing. She won't give her name.
Her?
Yeah, because he got arrested.
Jesus.
He told me, I tried to explain it to him.
Right.
And he said, I'm talking to him like a boy. I said, if you'll just listen to me, you're being audio and video recorded. What we're trying to do is identify yourself and what's going on here. He wouldn't even let me. He wanted to yell over me and say, well, racial profiling. I'm talking to him like he's a boy.
Nobody was doing that. All you had to do is identify yourself.
That's it.
Shouldn't be anyone at the residence.
Life, just so y'all know.
Okay. I mean, this could have been all avoided if he would have just.
Well, I told her that. And every time I try to tell him, he just says, you good, man? I appreciate this. I appreciate it, because all he does is racial profiling, he's suing. That's all he would say. You couldn't talk to him.
Well, wasn't going to detain him until he walked away, started coming to the front yard saying he's coming to water these plants. And then he gets his phone out and he just keeps speeding walking away. And I said, okay, fine, come here. Because at that point I realized he's not going to do anything to help us out. Oh.
What's the charge? So just obstruction?
Just a little wheel obstruction.
Obstruction.
I'll just do obstruction.
Obstruction of governmental operations.
Yeah.
We're here to investigate a call and he wouldn't give us his name or any other thing. Yeah, he told me he was trying to call the owner. But still, I need his name. We got to have his name.
Yeah.
He seems like a reasonable, nice guy. I don't understand him.
He shouldn't. If he's a good water policeman, he said this ain't an identifying state. Yes, it is.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter if he's pastor or if he's a pastor or not. Like, the thing is, he seems nice enough, reasonable guy.
Yeah.
Just talk to us, man. Like,
we don't have to clear up. We'll start getting calls.
Okay, well, we're 24 status.
Pastor Jennings' daughter and wife eventually appear to figure out what's going on.
Oh, fuck, got the whole code stuck.
They don't have no crime. It's okay. Hey, y'all working it out. It don't work out.
I can tell you what all happened if you like, ma'am.
Okay.
That's my call. They're the wire right
You're good. So we got a call.
Hold on, his wife is coming, so you can do this once.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's fine.
Come on. I looked out the door, Daddy. I was wondering where you were.
Yeah.
I thought you was outside doing
They're trying to make me identify myself. I told them I don't have to identify myself. I have to get the crime. She came over and told them that she made a mistake and they still want to try to do something to get my structure. I did. Okay. I wouldn't listen to him.
I'll tell you what's going on, okay? And so we got a call here, okay? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we'll need his ID.
I'm just gonna take his ID and we're gonna.
Well, you want us to take his whole wallet or just?
to give your ID?
I just wanted you to know who he was.
Okay.
No ID.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
If you don't give me an ID and we don't have a way to identify him, I will have to book him on John Doe. But if he's got it, then that's fine. Okay.
Yeah, he's okay. So he's been identified.
I'll tell you what happened.
Himself.
We get
She's
a call here.
identified him and verified
her.
who he is and where
Because
he
she didn't know
lives.
who was here. But when we get here, of course, we're going to immediately investigate the call.
Yes.
Find him on scene. All he's doing is watering the plants, and that's not a problem.
What do you want? What do you want to
And
do?
we say, hey,
Your phone is
sir,
at
we
the
have a
house.
call here.
What do you want us to do?
Need you to identify yourself, please. Like, no, I'm not identifying myself. You don't have to identify me, and so on. And he began to walk away. And we wouldn't listen, and he's walking away, so of course we detain him. Because we don't know what's going on.
Gotcha.
After that, we radioed for them to contact her, have her step out, and talk to us. Well, she does tell us it's a mistake, and all that stuff. But at this point, he's already collected the charge. Once we place him on arrest, we can't unarrest him. Does that make sense?
This is so simple. And the neighbor just told him this morning, please water the plants and take care of it.
I said that, but it was all afterwards. It was all afterwards. And all we told him was like, if you're here to water the plants, that's okay. Just please identify yourself, just your name, and let us call the owner. And he didn't want to do that until he caught the charge. So
what do we need to do now?
He's going to go to the Childersburg Police Department. We're going to process the arrest report. It's going to be one charge for obstruction of our investigation. He'll go to the jail. He can bond out immediately. You can get your bondsman, maybe 10% of the bond.
So it'd be like $50.
We're not investigating a crime. We're investigating a call.
If there were any chance of redemption, that line
We're not investigating a crime. We're investigating a call.
is the one that proves that without a doubt, these officers have no clue whatsoever.
And we have a right to identify anybody involved in that call.
Identify himself.
He's walking away and yelling at us and telling us we have no right, and we have a call there. But if he wants to fight it in court, that's fine.
Is it okay if I talk to him?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Yes,
Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am. That's fine. No problem.
Pastor Jennings was charged with obstructing governmental operations for failing to identify himself despite the fact that he identified himself to the responding officer at the start of the interaction.
I'm Pastor Jennings. I live across the street.
Even when he was under no lawful obligation to do so. He was then taken to jail and had to bond out, and the charge was thrown out a week later. Then, in September of 2022, Michael filed a lawsuit against the town and the 3 responding officers. And to add insult to injury, instead of writing a check, the town wasted even more taxpayer money to fight the lawsuit. Notably, the lawsuit states that Pastor Jennings is entitled to punitive damages and assumes that the defendant's actions were willful, malicious, wanton, reckless, and fraudulent, rather than just plain ignorant and uneducated. But in December of 2023, the pastor's lawsuit was dismissed by U.S. District Judge R. David Proctor, granting the officers qualified immunity, which is when a judge assumes that the officers were ignorant and uneducated. But the defense of qualified immunity, otherwise known as the "we're too dense to understand the law" defense, only works if a federal law is not clearly established. And by now, thanks to YouTube, more Americans are beginning to understand identification requirements and the scope of the Fourth Amendment than ever before. So after qualified immunity was granted, Pastor Jennings appealed the case, and the 11th Circuit unanimously ruled that the officers lacked probable cause for the arrest and stripped them of their qualified immunity. And the case will now continue, without the special ignorance of the law protections that are only afforded to government employees. My guess is that now the city will start offering numbers, and before a trial begins, a settlement will be reached. But it's always possible that the town is as ignorant as their officers and doesn't know when to fold. Either way, when the case is concluded, I will be sure to let you know. So until next time, let me know how you feel about these updates in the comments down below. And if you like this video, check out another episode, linked on screen.